Welcome back to the channel. This is the Earth Science Classroom. This video is on atmospheric science and meteorology, and this video we're looking at tropical cyclones and how these amazing storms are recorded for their different wind speeds and categories in different parts of the planet. This is the Earth Science Classroom. So a quick recap on different names and how and why these storms are called different names. If they originate from the Atlantic, North Atlantic or South Atlantic, they're called hurricanes. And also if they originate in the Eastern Pacific, then it's also called a hurricane. Then we have typhoons, which if they occur in the Northern Pacific, the Western Pacific, and around the Bay of Bengal or the Indian Ocean, they're called typhoons. And in the Southern Hemisphere, in the South Pacific or the Western South Pacific, they are called cyclones and also called willy willies because Australians are awesome. And also in the Southern Indian Ocean towards Madagascar, they're also called cyclones. The first scale, which is very famous, is to do with the scale of hurricanes around the North American continent, so looking at the North Atlantic Basin, the Eastern Pacific, Northern Pacific around Mexico, and the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean or Caribbean Sea, and we're looking at a 5-category scale or tiers starting at 74 miles per hour and going up to category 5, which starts at 157. So these categories are more defined based on the persistent wind speed of the hurricane. Then we go down under to Australia, where they have a similar 5-category scale or tier, and category 1 starts at 56 miles per hour, and 2, 3, 4 is an increment, so around 20 miles per hour, up to category 5, which is above 173 miles per hour. So again, this is to do with cyclones or willy willies that they call these storms in Australia. And of course, Australians are freaking amazing, awesome people, so of course they have a great name for a cyclone, which is willy willies. Then we go over to the Indian Ocean, the Bay of Bengal, to the Indian Meteorological Department, and look at cyclonic storms and their tiered system and wind speed of the storms that occur in that area, which goes from cyclonic storm, which is a slower 39 to 54, all the way through different levels of severity, up to the super cyclonic storm, which is above 137 miles per hour. Again, has 5 tiers to this scale. Then we move over to typhoons. This is the Japanese meteorological agency, and they have a 3-tiered system, starting with typhoons at 74 miles per hour, then very strong typhoon at 97, and the last one, the highest category or tier, which is violent typhoon, which is above 120 miles per hour. And we're staying with typhoons again. This case, it's the Philippines scale and based on 2-tiered system, which is quite simple: a typhoon between 74 miles per hour and 114, and then a super typhoon, anything above 115 would be classified as a super typhoon. Now, the Philippines do get hit a lot with very large super typhoons, and it's kind of amazing they don't have a 3rd or 4th tier to define those larger storms. And then finally, we're over to the United States of America, this great state of Hawaii, which is pretty much in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. They have a joint Navy and Air Force military overwatch of typhoons, which occur in the Western Pacific over to the Bay of Bengal, over even around Australia. And they have 2 classifications. Typhoon starts at 74 miles per hour, and a super typhoon is anything above wind speeds of 149 miles per hour. Again, this is for military application in terms of any operations that may encounter severe weather. And to be precise with this, again, 2 categories seem a little less compared to the saffir-simpson scale or even the Australian scale. They both have 5 categories, but a lot of these different categories around the world, these different wind scales, based on different parts of the world, they do have a similar starting point of this cyclonic system starting around 70 miles per hour. And obviously for the saffir-simpson scale, which we use in North America, for the Atlantic ones, it would be 74 miles per hour. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, please subscribe and maybe hit the like button. If you like more on this content, please check out my channel, which has all these videos on earth science.